Okay, hi. This will be the second Dream Diary video that I put up today because, as I mentioned in my last video, I'm off sick today and I slept for most of it. And there's sort of like these intermittent breaks where usually where my phone goes off and I end up waking up and then just going straight back to sleep. So, in this one, again, I'm only going to really talk about the last part of the dream because it was one of those dreams running into dreams, and the first bit I don't remember well enough to really understand what was going on. But where I'm going to start from is I'm in a skyscraper type building in apparently Chicago. Not a real one. It doesn't look anything like any of the buildings in Chicago, but I know it is in Chicago, as you do know in dreams. And I'm there with a few sort of colleagues, I guess, friends and colleagues, and again, not anybody real. And I go right up to the top floor, which I know is where the sort of one of my friends, the heir to the sort of empire, basically lives, because it's his father's building, and he at some point was sort of invalided for a while, and he lived up on this floor, and it's all purple on the inside. Don't know why. And yeah, so it's the penthouse, and I know that there's sort of been some contentious stuff going on with other people, other countries, or aliens from the previous dream. But all of a sudden, aliens do apparently attack, and we know that they're downstairs. And when my friends turns up, a woman younger than me, and a couple of aliens make it into the room, and we sort of like fight and scrabble, and we manage to stab them and kill them. I can't remember how, I just genuinely can't remember how, but then an alien spaceship hovers overhead and starts to scan for life forms on the top floor, and we can hear their transmissions saying, that they found something. So we hide underneath the dead bodies of the aliens. At first we try under the bed, that doesn't work. We try under various things. Then we pull the alien bodies over us, and the scanners eventually decide that we're not there. We then we decide that we're going to try and make it out. And we take some of the weapons from the fallen aliens. They're not typical alien weapons. I get a long sword and a scimitar shaped sword, a short knife, and this weird like two-pronged, very, very unrealistic thing, which has like a wide flat blade like a meat cleaver, but coming off at an angle is like this, also like another kind of scimitar shaped one, but like long and thin. And my friend's asking me like, how do I use this? And like I show her, like completely bullshitting, like, oh, you stab this way and then you slice this way, and like, no, like it just wouldn't work because the blades are all in the wrong orientation. I don't know why I remember that so specifically, but I do. And then we hear people coming up to this floor, and it turns out to be my friend who lives up here and a few of the others. And we sort of there's a long period where I think we talk a bit and we sort of prepare and like we arm ourselves and get ready, but that seems to go on for an awful long time. We can still hear things going on outside and stuff going on downstairs, and I managed to find some food and water, and some of us start to go to sleep, and I remember I go and lie near the door to the downstairs, which at this point the top floor looks like one long corridor. Like really wide long corridor, and I lie down on my front near the entrance to the downstairs, which is at one end of the corridor, with three of my friends, and I sort of in a position where I could easily jump up and attack something, but also kind of drifting off to sleep. And eventually we do hear people coming up, but it's not attackers, it looks like families. There's about 30, 40 people, and they're all like riding motorbikes and driving cars, which of course, inside a building is not entirely practical, but for some reason these stairs at this point have become a road, essentially. Dreams. And these people come in and we're like, okay, yeah, you should stay up here, it's safe. And they all kind of spread out and form their own little groups of 2 or 3 children with an adult, and they start just eating food and drinking. And I talked to the guy whose tower it is, and he we discussed the idea of going out for more food and drink, because otherwise we're gonna run out and die of starvation rather than by attack. And he's like, oh, it's all too dangerous. No, I say it's too risky. Why would you go out there unless you're going to die anyway? And he says he is, because apparently the time that he spent invalided was just sort of an early symptom of sort of a wasting disease. So, we hug for a while, and then he goes off downstairs. And while the rest of us kind of start wandering around the other families, and I start to overhear that they're planning to kill us, to take our stuff, and I sort of round on them, and I don't let them get away with it, but there's something complicated going on where one of the adults is controlling the rest of them, and she's like my height with sort of short dark hair, and I get the impression that she's behind a lot of what's going on, and they do start to try and attack us. And I also get mental images of downstairs where my friend is down there, and he's also finding that it's humans attacking humans, but there just does seem to be some sort of alien presence involved. Eventually, I can't remember how we resolved the other people. I think we managed to kill her and eventually break away and run downstairs. And at this point we get all gets very confused because it's all very intense and everybody's running and we're not sure if we're going to make it out. And then it kind of pulls away from my perspective, and we see the rest of Chicago, and there's only this one skyscraper standing. The rest of them seem to have been taken down. We get a shot of New York, where everything's burning. We get a shot, and at this point, like, I start to realize I'm actually in a cinema. I'm sat next to my mum, and I have my headphones in for some reason, to listen to the film, and we see London, and we see like parts of London getting destroyed, and then we see Edinburgh, which is where I live, and you sort of see like bits of it on fire, but then it zooms out and the castle blows up, and at that point I like kind of go no, and not realizing that, you know, I'm in a cinema full of people, and I pull my headphones out and people are laughing, and it's like, and that seems to be the end of the film, and not much was resolved. I sort of discussed this with my mum, and obviously people around me are laughing because I screamed. I see a couple of my friends sat near me as well, like my actual friends, like real life people, and apparently the whole thing was just a film. Then we go out of the cinema, and we're still discussing like what happened and the fact that none of it was resolved. And I'm asking a whole lot of questions like, did we ever find out what she was doing? Because I felt like I had been falling asleep during the film, and part of it was a dream. And as we go downstairs, we find that we're still in the tower, the skyscraper that we were in, and I ask why this was the only one left standing, and the guy like who runs the place, or my boss apparently, says, you know, we don't know, but it seems to be over now, and he hands me a piece of paper describing how I can claim workplace compensation. And it specifically only says that I can claim it for like food lost, or meetings interrupted, or travel or something. Like I can't claim it for like emotional and physical distress. And I kind of start like moaning about the fact that, look, I just went through all of this, like half of the employees in this building tried to murder me. How can I not claim for that? And I think it was shortly after that I woke up, but it was just sort of, was it, how much of it, like, I know all of it was a dream, but within that dream, how much of it was a dream and how much of it happened to me? So yeah, it was one of those weird ones that you get when you're sort of half awake. I'm gonna have to stop this video soon, because I think I'm already gonna have to split it if I want to post it. But yeah, that was a fun one. Hopefully the last one I have today.